Afternoon, Paul and Nigel. Welcome to Chislehurst. I'm Kevin, 2E0NIM, and this is the back plot with lots of shrubbery and lots of aerials and bits of wire and cable and bits of string all over the place. The main antenna is the good old trusty G5RV, which is shoehorned into the garden because the garden's not really long enough. It starts over there on the house, up to the chimney stack, and then down the garden to this hole at the bottom. That's 15 foot high. No, it's 20 foot high now. 10 foot if the council come round, and it comes back down here. So it's a bit of a compromise, but it works. That's the main thing. It gets me out.
Is the G5RV your main HF antenna
Yes,
that you
yes.
have?
I've got a mobile outbacker antenna that I sometimes bring out in the garden and put on a tripod. And
Oh
you'll see
right.
that.
Oh, perhaps we can have a look at that a
Yeah,
bit later.
Yeah, and there's also a post in the garden for a 10-metre fiberglass pole that goes up in the air there. So everything's out here, in amongst the washing line and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, G5RV goes up there, and the cable goes back underneath the house and comes up in the shack at the front of the house. And from there, there's earth cable going out to 4 earth rods banged in the side of the ground of the side of the house. So that's about it, really.
Yes, and which band do you find that you get out best on the G5RV?
Around here is 40. I like 40 best on this, and certainly on the higher bands it works okay. Yeah, certainly on 20, no problem, and even higher. But the little outbacker mobile antenna actually knocks spots off it on 15 and 18. So yeah, a bit of a surprise that. And also on the house there's a 6LE Vergada beam. But yeah, so that's it really out here. It's like a catwalk, this.
All right, Kevin. Tell us about your station that you got here and what equipment you've got.
Well, Paul, yeah, it's pretty modest really. I treated myself once when I passed my M3 a couple of years ago to an IC7000 and got the old MFJ 949 tuner there to go with it for the RV. Also got a little MFJ matchmaker, which I find really good for tuning up wire antennae. Nothing else really. There's a rotator there for the beam and just SWR meters. A cheap and nasty power supply there that I got thrown in with the IC7000 when I bought it from an establishment down in Chertsey. And underneath the bench there's a backup battery for mobile portable use and another
Yes.
power supply that
Oh,
I've
marvellous. Oh, good.
got. And
Yes.
just a really old PC that has been on its last legs, which I keep meaning to replace, but while it keeps going, I'll keep using it. So that's about it really. All the rest of the things in here are all either associated with radio, family history or railways, so that's about it. But
Kevin, what on earth have we got here? It looks like a core drilled out or something.
it's a
What's going on here?
It's a memento when I first set up the shack in here, and that
Yes.
the extension we're in is built about 4 foot off the ground,
Right.
so you can get the cables out of here and out through air bricks.
Oh, that's very convenient.
But you need to get through the floor, so
right.
I decided to take a hole out of the floor, which rather surprised my wife when she saw what I did, and I kept that as a memento. So that's the exit from the shack to the outside world.
Well, you can get a good few cables through there, I would have thought.
Well,
A couple of 213s and
Yeah, you can have a look at it over here.
and some earth wires, I would
Yeah,
have
so
thought.
everything goes out.
Everything
in the
goes
corner.
out in the corner there, does it?
Yeah, through a hole in the floor. So
Right.
you've got the 213,
Yes.
the earth cable,
Yes.
and the rotator cable,
Oh,
all going through that, and then out through an air brick on the side.
that's fine. Well, you'll have to. That's
I
lovely.
think
I'll
I
have a
might
look
need
at
another one of these though, actually, so I'm going to put another one in at some stage.
Yeah.
Under the cover of darkness.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you have to now tell us about the outbacker antenna that you've got.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll set it up for you.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay.
Paul, this is the latest acquisition to get me mobile or portable out of the car, but I've also found it works really well in the back garden, so this is how I use it in the back garden.
Right.
You saw that post out in the garden.
Yes, you did indeed, yes.
It just connects into it out there, and yeah, it's a sort of helical vertical with taps on it for the band taps, so it goes from 80 down to 6 metre, and just alter the wander lead to the band and fine tune it by adjusting the whip at the top.
Oh, fantastic.
It works a treat, really. It's a couple of S points up on the G5RV on sort of 18 and 20 and 15.
Right.
So yeah, it works a treat. Given the size of it, I was absolutely staggered, and with the amount of wire and other bits I've got in the garden, just to be able to stick this up. But it works. I use it on either by the side of the car or out in the field somewhere with some quarter wave radios, and just sling them out and off you go.
Excellent. And what sort of DX have you? What's your best DX on it?
The best one is 3 Bravo 7 Charlie out in the Indian Ocean on 18 metres in the back garden, which staggered me when he came back and replied. I nearly fell off my chair.
And how did you adapt the stand? This looks like a photographic stand.
It is. It's just a standard tripod. The only thing I've done, I've added an extra earth lead to get into the aluminium legs. Through all this is a plastic head, some of these parts, so it's not continuous. But I mean, whether that helps or not. But the main thing is to have the radials coming out of here. So 4 radials or more, if you feel. I guess. I've just done it with 4 quarter waves for the bands I've used, and it gets a bit tricky with the 80-metre ones. They're all over the garden. It's a bit like a spider's web out there with all this wire. But no, it seems to work, and I have a lot of fun with it. So. That's the main thing, I think, and yeah, never be surprised.
So you've made up radio sets for it, have you?
Yeah, they're all in here. This is my luggage. If I'm going out anywhere, I take a bundle of wire and just sling it out.
Well, from Kevin, it's now time to go over to John, G4DOE, in St Paul's, Cray. Over to you, John.